Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's Anne Manera, and we are here live again this morning for another live color along. We are just waiting for everyone else to get here. I needed to adjust some technical issues on the back end here with the camera and the microphone and, you know, all that good stuff. So if you're here this morning, let's do a sound check. I see there's 3 people watching, so sound check, sound check, sound check. How are we doing? We're going to be coloring from Color Along Volume 15 once again, using the tie-dye technique. Hey, good morning, Alice. How's my sound, Alice? We're going to do a few different things today. So, good morning to Sharon. Sound is good. Okay, good. Alice can hear me. That's all we can count on, right? All that matters at this point, right? I'm just going to scream out the window and see if anyone else can hear me. We're going to give it a few more minutes, but for those of you that are already here, let's take a look at what we've done so far in the Color Along Volume 15 book. This has been kind of a fun book, don't you think? And I'm waiting for my Color Along Volume 16 book to arrive. I think it said it's supposed to arrive on January 27th or something crazy. So the first one we did was blending with colored pencils. Of course, Paisley must really like this one. Hang on, I've got to get Paisley something. What is happening, Paisley? Oh, Paisley. Well, where's yours? Here. And then there's one over here. Okay? Gotta get the dogs scheduled, right? Settled. Did you get volume 16? What do you think, Sharon? What do you think about it? I am excited about it because, again, it is a totally new book like volume 15. So, I mean, you could buy volume 16 and you could never attend a color along and you would have a completely brand new coloring book. So, I actually have considered taking volume 15 and 16 and putting it together as a coloring book themselves, but what would be the fun in that? Because we've already done it. We've already colored it. Good morning, Cheryl Waters. So this was a fun one, blending with colored pencils. And we worked on this mixed media page with these like shadow box type things. I'm actually working on a book with this style pages. I've just been kind of dragging. I don't know what's been happening. I've been dragging. What can I say? Dragging with just kind of working on other books. I worked on and I released a new color swatch book the other day that has a whopping 200 pages to swatch your colors with 6,000 spaces. I mean, if that doesn't cover every coloring supply you have, then we need to have a serious conversation about what is going on. I mean, there's a lot in it. It's a 408 page book because everything is one-sided. It's on Amazon. It's out already. I think it's priced at $19.99 at this point. I really tried hard to keep it below the $20 mark because the price of a book is completely based on the number of pages, and I didn't want them to be. I wanted them to be single-sided pages. So, hey, good morning, Katie. So this one was pointillism. We're just kind of flipping through the book as we're finishing it. Grayscale with colored pencils. Creating patterns. Glitter gel pens. This was cool. This was a fun one to do. Of course, markers for these mushrooms. And then this was a fun one with the complementary colors that we worked on with these bookmarks. And when we do the next coloring camp, which is really only in a few weeks, right? It's like time is moving fast here. February 7th will be here before we know it. And when we move on to the next coloring camp, there's going to be a camp day all about color schemes, and we're using this style page to create different color schemes. Like what color goes with what? Because a lot of people do kind of say, gee, I'm not really sure what I should wear with that. I mean, my argument to that is always, you do know, because you're probably not wearing clashing colors or things that do not match. Bonjour, Lynn. I'm going to speak to Lynn only in French today. That's what Lynn should do. She should only speak to us in French today. Wouldn't that be a hoot? See if you can test my French skills, Lynn. I can read it. I don't know if I can speak it. I might be able to tell you what you're saying, but I don't know if I can answer you. But I could write back to you in French. I don't even know. Okay. Woodless colored pencils for this one. Creating textures. Oil pastels. And this one was last week's page, glowing, where we used some makeup. For next week, can you post in your group what you recommend for watercolors? Also, is 90-pound paper stock okay? You mean for the grayscale painting? I can just tell you right now, to be honest with you, 90-pound paper stock is okay. Let's talk about that actually right now, since Caddy's bringing it up. What she's talking about is the grayscale painting with watercolors, which is for next week. And this painting is actually from an original painting that I have done, which I'm hopefully going to remember. Do I have it hanging behind me? I have paintings that hang on the wall in my studio. So I don't have this painting hanging, but this painting actually that I did is actually, I just put it on a tote bag and a pillow on Amazon. So I'll have the original and I'll have the color with us for next week. But the question is, what do you recommend for watercolors, and is 90-pound paper okay? So when you talk about watercolors, let's talk about the paper first. The paper, when we use watercolors, you want it to have some sort of a tooth. And by that, you want it to have something that will make the water absorb into the paper. So for example, you would never want to paint watercolors, or really any kind of paint. Think about it painting on plastic. It's just going to sit on top of it, or aluminum foil. I mean, I'm just using that as an extreme example. But you want something that the water will absorb into. So the paper in this book is okay. This is actually a 60-pound paper in this book. Certainly, a lot of people don't realize that it actually is that, and that it doesn't feel like it, because it doesn't. However, when you talk about a coloring book and what kind of paper is actually in a coloring book that you purchase, in the printing industry, the paper that goes through a printer to create a book is actually a little bit different than paper you would purchase in just a ream of paper. So it is a little bit different. So if you were going to buy this, actually kind of feels more like a 20-pound stock that you would put through your printer, versus if you compared this to a 60-pound stock paper that you were just to buy to put through your printer, this would be much thinner. But so there's the difference. That's why a lot of people say, oh, the paper in these coloring books that are produced from these independent coloring book artists are terrible. This is all you're going to get. This is just not, you're not going to get it any better unless you really want to pay the price for the paper. But if you want something that's produced the way it is, this print-on-demand paper, in these print-on-demand books, then this is what you're going to get. I mean, there's nothing else you can do about it. So you want it to be something that can absorb it. So if the 90-pound paper that you're talking about has a tooth to it, which means it has like pits in it, and you can feel it kind of with your hands, you can kind of feel it with your fingers, like a roughness to it, then it will absorb it. So give it a test with just some water if you want to. As far as watercolors, you can use any watercolor you want. I mean, I use Farben watercolors. I'll get the set out actually. See if I have them. I might not have them because for some reason I'm losing everything lately. I don't know. Oh, here they are. So, for some reason, I'm losing everything. You ever go through a period of time when you're losing like everything? I've lost a few things the past couple of days. I don't know what's going on. Misplaced, I guess. Good morning, Bonnie Hughes. Good morning, Sarah. I have these two sets of watercolors. This one is called Raphael. I've literally had this set for probably 20 years. I mean, you can use the cheapo stuff from the dollar store if you wanted to. Hang on. What are we talking about, Scarlett? All right, let's pull this shade down and you don't have to see that. So lay down, my friend. You too. Lay down. Dogs, go lay down. Good morning, Pat Christie. So these are little cakes, or you could use watercolor that's in a tube. I don't actually have that. I have gouache in a tube, which is a little bit different. And then this is my Farben set. Again, cakes. This is a really nice set. Farben actually sent these to me as a gift to try and to use while I'm live. So that's why I have these. But I would purchase these. They're little cakes. They kind of look like little bowling cubes when you first get them. and they're wrapped up in little gold foil. And then you just kind of unwrap them and you set it up in the tray. What's nice about this set is that you can take this little tray out that's in the middle, and it's in this little enamel, like butcher. They call it like a butcher tray, I guess. It's like a little enamel tray. You can wash this out. I have not washed that because sometimes I like to use the colors that are left. And then you can just take them all out and you can wash this. No last one. We already did that today. We already did last one. Last one happened at like 7 a.m. Sarah says, I have the Spear Fob and I have the bigger set. How many are in the bigger set? Today is all dogs go lay down, Sharon. It's not about the last one anymore. It's been quite a day so far. So this is a nice set that I would recommend. However, you could easily use the ones that are at you could use a cheapo set. Doesn't make a difference. Watercolor paint lasts a very, very long time. So, I mean, the cakes do. The tubes, not so much. So I hope that answers your question. That is my other question. What is the minimum number of set you would recommend? Well, it really depends on the colors that you want. I mean, you could easily use, if you're just starting out, I would only go with the 12 or even an 8 or 10 if you had that little set. You can always mix, if you have the 12 pack, you can always mix the colors. So if you were missing, I mean, this is a 12 pack. It has pretty much everything in it. But if you only had red, blue, yellow, black, and brown, you would be all set. You don't even need white. There's really no white in watercolors. Some sets have it in the tube, but when you're using watercolors, the water becomes your white. Sharon's saying, I have an Arteza set, which is very nice, and I got it on Amazon. It wasn't all that expensive. Arteza products are excellent, excellent products. That's a really good product to have. If you were going to go with a brand name other than Spearfarben, you can never go wrong with a Faber-Castell product, an Arteza product, a DeWent product, a Stadler. You can never go wrong with Stadler. So when you can never go wrong with Crayola either. Lynn is saying you can also purchase Strathmore texture inkjet paper to copy the picture onto the watercolor paper. Yes. I also have, which does not go through my printer, which is a Canson. I'm going to get the paper. So Lynn is talking about taking the actual watercolor paper and printing it directly onto the paper. I have this Canson watercolor paper, and this is a little bit thicker. It's 140 pounds. How many pounds is the paper, Lynn, for that Strathmore? Because some of it does not go through the paper. So you could easily use a Canson watercolor. This does not go through the printer. I will tell you that. So usually I transfer if I'm going to use that, or I just draw directly on it. The other paper that works well is, we should just do like a paper video, right? The other paper that works well is this Canson mixed media paper. I love a Canson product. That's really a very, very, very good product. But Sharon's saying that's my problem. I can't get the watercolor paper to go through my printer. Lynn is saying that Strathmore is 80 pounds. I would say that 80 pounds and less would go through the printer. However, this one is this Canson mixed media, Sharon, and this is 98 pounds, and it does go through my printer. And this Canson book comes in all different sizes. This one's a 5.5 by 8.5. I just have this in my little sketchbook. What's nice about this, it has perforated pages. Hey, good morning, Bonnie Miller. Haven't seen you in a long time. And this is good for acrylic, watercolor, pen, pencil. I mean, I would go further and say it's good for marker. I've painted on this paper. Did this on watercolor paper, on this paper in here for one of our color along group challenges. Coloring group challenges. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have that Canson. The one at the blue. There's all different levels. I mean, you can look at like the one with the green cover. That's a little bit different, but that's my favorite, that Canson. I like the 7 by 10. I don't really draw on that for a coloring book. When I do coloring books illustrations, I use actually 20-pound computer paper, believe it or not, because it's easier on the pen. So you got to kind of go with the paper that you would like, you know. Sarah's talking about her Bostitch pencil sharpener, which I use all the time, the electric pencil sharpener. She bought it and she's loving it. So this morning, let's talk about what we're going to do today. We're working on this page here, which is it says Dare to Begin. It's similar to my book called Chase the Sun. And Chase the Sun has all different phrases and I guess little affirmations that you can kind of post around your house or color. As a matter of fact, if you head over to my website and you find Chase the Sun, I'm not even going to put the link because it's going to take me too much time. But if you can go do some investigation and be Sherlock Holmes and go find Chase the Sun on my website, this is free. This whole book as a PDF is a freebie on my website. So maybe somebody will take advantage. And there's all different sayings inside the book, like use your wings, different types of things like that. I think it's great for the time of life that we're going through. All right, so Lynn is saying that 80-pound went through the printer. Okay, awesome. News report from Lynn. But she didn't say it in French, so I don't know. So this is all about tie-dye. And tie-dye, I mean, we're going to channel our inner hippie, I guess, and really just kind of get going on moving along with some different colors and blending some different colors. I'm using these watercolor brush markers that are actually by Sakura. It's their Japanese brand, or it's written in Japanese. So unless Lynn can translate for us, I do not know what this package says. So we're going to have to just pretend that we know. And that they're watercolor brush markers. So they're really nice. They have a lot of different colors. Yes, brush markers. Lynn's ahead of me here. Hey, good morning, Sandra. So the other thing I want to talk about this morning before we depart today, we're going to talk about coloring camp that's beginning on February 7th. We're going to talk about the draw along class that begins on January 27th. And we're going to talk about the coloring the challenges that are happening in the Just Color coloring group. The Just Color coloring group, I've been featuring some challenges over the past I guess month or so, right? And I have not had them on a set schedule because I wanted them to be a little more spontaneous, and I've kept them to shorter days. So let me know what you think about that. I'm going to start coloring here. Let me know what you think about that, the new challenges that are happening in the group. Right now, we are working on a 5-day drawing challenge. And is it 5? 5, right? 5 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 days. It started on Saturday and it ends on Wednesday. And each day, a prompt is posted for you to draw an everyday household object. Honestly, I did not realize it was going to cause so much confusion yesterday when I posted a dish detergent bottle between Terry asking me if that was what you wash dishes with or if that was what you washed. Was it called washing up? So I mean, I guess in England they have a different term for it. All the way to Carol Blaze saying that she actually didn't have any, and she needed to go borrow the bottle of dish soap from her neighbor. So that was kind of funny. And of course, Sharon had to chime in with whether or not we needed to use wash our dishes by hand or use a dishwasher. So Sharon was getting fancy. So I don't know about that, but. So that's what was happening with that. Today's challenge is to draw a toothbrush. Lynn is saying that she likes the challenges. You know, I can't believe how many people are participating. And actually, one of the people that jumped in and started participating was Dan Howard, who's a coloring book artist. And he started when I started back in 2015. And then I haven't really seen him do anything else. And it's nice to see Dan drawing again. So Dan is the one who did the drawing of the cup that had, I think, the dragon on it with the plant next to it. So, and as far as what the prompts are, I don't think of them until I wake up. I think of them in the middle of the night before I go to bed. I don't know, but I'm trying to be spontaneous with the different prompts. I don't have a list planned out. I do have a next challenge all in mind, though. I think that's going to be a fun one, totally different. I'm not going to talk about it today, but it will probably start on Thursday. So I'm trying to keep them shorter days because if not, I don't know about you, but life gets in the way. And then you start to say, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that, but then I totally forgot about it. And now what do I do? So I'm trying to keep them so that they're not so long. So you don't have something sitting in front of you that it's like, I don't know, just way too long. So that's what's happening with the challenges. And they're completely free to participate. But if you are liking the drawing challenges, the drawing challenge that we're doing right now, you should consider joining the draw along group. I mean, I try not to make these videos a sales pitch, but I'm going to tell you, I think you would like it. So, I mean, anyone that's watching today that is part of the draw alongs, that have been part of the draw alongs for all the past 3 volumes, this is the next volume that begins on the 27th of January. We're going to meet every other Wednesday at 10 a.m. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to set up a free draw along over the next few days. I've got to take a look at what's happening with life and see when I can do that. But so we can kind of see exactly what happens during a draw along and what goes on and how is it step by step, and how are these people that are participating actually getting the results they're getting, because what the results that people are getting and the improvement. Lynn is saying I've learned so much during the draw alongs. I'm going to tell you, the improvement that people have made has been astounding to me. Astounding. It just keeps me inspired myself, pushes me to draw better, pushes me to do a better job with what I'm creating. But it really is a really nice way to learn something quick. The draw along sessions last about 40 minutes to 60 minutes. It's not a big deal. We keep it simple. It's really taught at a beginner level, and you can take it as far as you would like. But we're drawing everything from still lifes to landscapes using charcoal, graphite, pastels. We're drawing mandalas. So take a look. It's $15.99. It comes out to $1.33. I'm going to tell you, if you took this class somewhere else and you took 12 sessions, it would cost you far more than $1.33 per session. So that's what I'm going to say about the draw alongs. If you're interested, you can get the book on my website as a PDF, or you can also get the book on Amazon as an actual book. But I'm going to tell you, if you bought the PDF and you were saying, hey, I don't really want to use my printer and print all of those pictures, you do not have to. You could easily buy the PDF for the book, not print anything, use your own sketchbook. And for example, you've got the PDF, you can use this reference photo on the screen. Lynn says it's helped me in my paintings too. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that either, because it's all about the foundation, right? So drawing is the foundation of what is happening. So we have a lot of fun in it. It's just done in a Facebook group during a live video. And then if you miss the video, you can just watch the replay. So simple. Simple is my word today. Simple. So what else is going on? What else did I want to talk to you about today? Something else in today's meeting. Oh, camp is happening. Camp is happening on February 7th. It's going to be a lot of giveaways, actually. Well, every day there's a giveaway in camp. But the giveaway is going to be cool. There's going to be a set of Arteza watercolor pencils, I believe. Paparazzi jewelry. Carol Blaze is going to do a painting. I've got a painting that I'm giving away. I'm also going to give away some other types of products. I've got some books I'm going to be giving away, some physical copies of books that I'll be shipping myself rather than waiting for Amazon or whoever else to deliver it. And that's what's happening. That's my news. What is new with everybody else? So I'm just using these brush markers just to kind of color in all of the spaces and just kind of playing around with some different colors, and see how I just added some different colors on top of the other colors. It kind of gives it a look of a tie-dye. These brush markers have a real brush tip, which means that the brush actually has bristles. So you can actually pull them apart like a regular brush. Versus some other brush markers do not have that, but instead they have like a felt tip. So it's more like a regular marker, but it just shaped like a brush. So I guess they're posers, but what are you going to do? It's the posers of the brush markers. But if you really like working with a brush and you feel comfortable with a brush in your hand versus, I mean, some people feel more comfortable with a brush in their hand versus a pencil or a pen or that type of thing. So these are actually very, 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 very easy to use. The way I'm coloring the E right now is light enough that it's giving me the strokes of the brush so you can kind of see more of a texture. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell everybody, I'm gonna put some green in with that, with this one. See what happens. Just kind of where the light parts are. Kind of make it look like it's blending. The other thing I wanted to tell everybody is that I have these tote bags on Amazon that have my coloring pages on them, and then some of them have my paintings on them. And you can color the tote bags. So I have a new tote bag coming from one of the gnome books, and I am actually going to be going live with it as soon as it arrives, which I believe is next week sometime. I'm going to be going live with it, and on the E and Dear Alice, I used blue and yellow, and then on this one, I used pink and green. I'm going to use this turquoise color here, and I'm going to go back and use yellow also. But see how I'm kind of like leaning it on its side? So I'm going to go live with the tote bag, and I'm going to paint it live. I'm going to actually color it with Duane Inktense colored pencils. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use water. It's a couple of different techniques I'm going to give it a try, but you can color the bag. And I think Dawn did. Dawn posted one of the bags that she colored, and she did not use, I'm not sure, she used markers, I think, but it looked really cool. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out. I'll put orange in here. It looks cool when you add the yellow in with a color. And then for the background, I'm going to actually use some water with my markers, with my brush markers. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use a paintbrush or I don't want to dip the actual marker into the water because then it will ruin my marker. I really like this marker right here, this pink one, because it's running out, and it's the reason why I kept it. Because I like the texture that's being created. So if you've got a dry marker, don't get rid of it. You know, let it still be part of the party. I'm not going to do anything to that. I'm going to leave it the way it is. So let me see what I'm going to do next to this. Let's see. Let's take some, I have a cover. Tulip, I think that's like a Cool Whip cover or something. And you can do this with Crayola Super Tips also, which is in the next color along book, right? I'm going to add my marker to the actual piece of plastic. This is red. Then I'm going to take some water. Let's hope that my water isn't too dirty. If not, I'm going to have to get up and go like this. So I'm using it almost like it's paint. So I've taken the ink out of the marker by adding it to this. You can do this with Crayola Super Tips also. And then it becomes kind of just like watercolor paint. And I'm just going to add it right to here, to this background where it's white. Now you could completely go over where the gray is, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. You got to be spontaneous in what you're coloring and what you're creating. Too much planning is overrated, in my opinion. And I don't really want it to be even, because that would just, I don't know, that was just change the whole design of it. And the more water you use, I gotta go check Paisley. She sounds like she's about to choke on her toy. Hold on a second. Paisley, this is too much, honey. No more of that, okay? Don't play with that toy anymore, okay? You didn't know that about the super tips? Yes, Sarah. That's what you can do that with super tips. You can just kind of like do the same thing. Color onto a piece of plastic like this, and then add the water. And it's one of the tutorials. It's one of the color along topics in Color Along Volume 16, actually. But you could use any marker if you didn't have super tip. I'm gonna put more water on here. And then I'm just using I'm using the same color as I'm kind of going around all of where the white is. Staying away from that gray. Even if they aren't watercolors is what Sarah is asking. Well, you mean like alcohol markers? We could try it. Want me to try it? I'll give it a try. Hang on a second. I'll grab an alcohol marker. You know, I never use those alcohol markers while I'm live. You guys all know. I have breathing issues with them. They're not bad if I'm not talking, but if I'm talking, it's an issue. Had a little bit of more, a little bit of more, right? A little bit of more. This really made it a little bit lighter because I added more water. We may have to pivot. And you could dip this in water, the actual brush marker, but I don't want to ruin my pens. I think I got these markers at TJ Maxx. Isn't that weird? They have some weird art supplies. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't been to TJ Maxx in a very long time, so that tells you how old these are. Can't even remember the last time I went to TJ Maxx. All right, so just this kind. Doesn't it kind of look like bones now? I don't know, for some reason it looks like bones to me. And you can mix the colors too. When you do this method, you can actually take the colors and mix them together. I don't know why I didn't start from the top and work my way down, just in case anyone's wondering that, because I'm wondering that about myself right now. Do you ever do things and then say, what have I done? Okay, I definitely have to pivot. I don't know about you. I'm going to pivot. Everyone is so quiet today. I know, you're right, Sarah. They are. Everyone must be really coloring. This is taking a lot of our concentration today. Right? The back of this has dry gouache paint on it, which I was using the painting something with it the other day. And I just left it because you can go back. The same thing happens with watercolors. If you use watercolors and you have it on watercolor paint or marker and you have it on plastic like this, it will probably not dry, or it probably will dry. And then it will, you can reactivate it with water. You can do the same thing with gouache. I'm very tired, Sarah. I don't know about you. Had a crazy day yesterday, so it wore me out. Maybe everybody else is just as tired. Caddy's saying I get tie-dye effect using my alcohol markers. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm going to pull out another marker. I just don't want to mix it with what I have. So let me finish this background first, and I will give it a go, as they say. Lynn says I wanted one tube of paint, so I explored Jerry's. $60 plus later, I will get the tube of paint. Fun stuff. It's kind of like going into the supermarket. Or it's kind of like when I shop on Whole Foods. All I wanted to buy was a few items. And now, right now, I actually have a shopping cart filled for Whole Foods. I don't know. I started out with like $40 worth of stuff and said, oh, this will be quick. This will be a quick delivery, an easy purchase. And I don't know. It's up to like $95 or something ridiculous. So it's kind of like that. I even removed stuff. It was crazy. Then they didn't have any delivery times. So then I said, well, this really is not meant to be. So then they had a delivery time that was right smack in the middle of this. So I decided that that would not be a good idea. But, you know, when I shop on Jerry's, I'm always trying to get free delivery. So it's easy to, plus it is always a coupon. That happens to me when I buy dog food at the pet store. I always have a 30% off coupon, and I'm always like trying to like get the best deal, right? It's like shopping on Kohl's. It's like never shop online without a coupon and pay for shipping. I was a little disappointed with what company was it? Land's End. Oh my goodness. I ordered something from Land's End and they had free shipping, which was great. And they had free shipping back just in case it didn't fit right. And it didn't. So I shipped it back. And do you know that it's going to take a month, 4 weeks for me to get my money back? I mean, I had to actually call and ask the woman about it. And I should have just, I don't know why, I just didn't say what I was thinking and just say, well, I'll never be shopping on Land's End anymore. I should have just said it. I don't know why I didn't. Gonna just start speaking up, I guess, right? Can you please try the alcohol marker just for a quick second, Sarah is saying. Are you saying it like that? Yeah, shopping online is way too easy. I agree with you. Do you do a darker color then mix in a lighter color for the tie-dye effect? Exactly. Or you can just make it so it looks like a blend. Or we're just kind of having fun with it so that I'm going to, yeah, so we see how I just kind of did this green right here, the R and the E. Okay, I'm flipping around. Let me get the marker so that Sarah can relax. Relax, Sarah. No, I'm only kidding. Okay, I'm going to put it over to the edge. Right here. There's my alcohol marker. And now I'm going to take my paintbrush with water and do the same thing. Same thing. It's not as, I would just say that it is just not as easy. See, this is the other one. That's the other one. So yes, it does work. What if you put the marker on a page and then use a wet paintbrush? Lynn is asking. Well, Lynn must be reading my mind, because that was going to be my next step for the gray areas in here. I'm going to actually use some purple. Alice is saying, I'm having problems with my neck and eyes today. My neck cracked last night and now I have issues. That's why I'm a little quiet. Oh no. I hate that feeling. I always think that, isn't it amazing how if you have tightness in your neck or any type of pain in your neck, how much it will actually affect your eyes? I don't mind if people are quiet. It's okay with me. Okay, look, I did it. I put the color there. I don't like it. What do you think, Lynn? I'm not liking it. Lynn is saying, I wanted free delivery, so I bought several tubes of paint canvas and some Try-Its. The Try-Its and Jerry's are great. I love those. You can get a lot of stuff for like $1 or $2. I think I've bought a lot of brushes like that. All right, now I'm just going to kind of play around with some different colors in here. Kind of maybe blending one into one another. I'm not going to do that method right there, Lynn, because I don't like it. Maybe some yellow. I mean, think about like how you tie-dye those shirts. We're channeling our inner hippie. That's all. I got to catch up to these comments. Lynn says, Land's End usually faster. Maybe it's the post-holiday rush. I think that they need to get on the stick here. I mean, a month to wait for your money back. It's not, I don't know. I'm not happy with it. So there's kind of my tie-dye down there. Here's some yellow. I like how the yellow looks with different colors. I'm going to put some green into this one. Did I say pizza? What are we doing with pizza? I haven't made a pizza in a while, Sarah. See, that marker, that alcohol marker, is already giving me a headache. I don't like them at all. I like how they color, but I don't know. I mean, this is kind of a sloppy way. I'm just being into food this morning. Okay. We're always all into food, Sarah, you know. So there's more yellow in there. And then I'm going to go back in with maybe some blue. There it is. It's okay, Sarah. I think it's lack of sleep. It was a rough night of sleeping. I think it's a toss between the alcohol marker and the menthol pain relieving cream I have on my ankle, which is really like heating up right now. Oh, it's kind of funny, actually. It's like it's cooking. Okay. I think that online shopping is just way too easy to do. I agree with you, Lynn. I think that well, between online shopping and going into a store quickly just makes me spend more money, because I just go into a store just to kind of like a small supermarket, just to shop quick, just like for some stuff at a deli and maybe some meat and things like that. But as I'm zipping through the store like a maniac, I am just throwing stuff into my shopping cart and trying to avoid people and dodge people, and it just makes it so that it is way too easy to just like get to the register, and it's like, oh my god, where did all that come from? Okay, I'm gonna pivot around again. And this is a cool page. I mean, dare to begin, right? Like, what should we do to maybe begin a new year? This should have been the first page for the beginning of 2021. Hey, good to see you, Bonnie Miller. Have a great day. You had a rough night sleeping too, Bonnie? Oh, yeah, it was. It was rough. A rough night. I could have stayed in bed. It was awful. I could have just said, that's it. I'm just going to stay here and just keep sleeping. Lynn says, I was sleepy yesterday afternoon, so I had a cup of coffee, stayed up too late watching TV, and then I could not sleep. The biggest reason I won't drink coffee during the day. It's not worth it to me. Actually, there was one day a couple of weeks ago where I was just so tired at like 3 o'clock or so, and I laid down and I fell asleep until 5. And that night was torture. Never again. That was the wrong time. It was the wrong time to fall asleep, because it was just not. I don't feel like being up at 1 o'clock in the morning, like from 1 to 3. It's real system. I'm not into it anymore. That's true. At least this page is January. You are right, Sarah. I just am not into it. I mean, how much TV can you watch? I've already finished watching Bridgerton, and I'm not surprised. Has anyone else seen the ending? I was not surprised at some of the things that happened that were supposed to be like surprise. So like, how much TV can you watch, right? And all of a sudden, I feel like I become like a news junkie. I don't know what's happened to me. I slept from 3 to 9, then from 6 a.m. Oh, you were up from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.? Yeah, that's terrible when that happens. Alice says, what did you do to your ankle? Oh, nothing. It's a chronic thing, Alice. It's just a chronic issue that I have with my ankle. And I heard it, I heard it last week. I like re-injured an old injury. Is that how you say it? Yes. I re-injured an old injury last week, because there was a bird in my house. So there was a bird flying in a room. They got into the house and it was flying through the room, and it scared me half to death is what it scared me. So as it flew, I ended up catching it. And as it flew, I ran out of the room screaming like an absolute maniac. And yet, soft tissue never heals completely. Exactly. It's an old injury. And then when I was running from the bird, I kind of twisted it. So ever since then, it's been killing me. I've got to get Paisley, and I'll finish telling you about the bird. Hold on. Hey, hold on one second. Okay? Okay. Sarah's saying, I've been drinking less sodas, more water. I thought it would give me more energy. Is it working? It's not working? I know. I wish there was more like the British Baking Show too, Caddy. I really love that show. That's a good show. There was something else that I was watching, though, that was similar. It reminded me of the British Baking Show. And now I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was this woman. So I was on PBS yesterday, actually, and it was this woman. This couple. They were transforming, creating like a wedding. It reminded me of it. I don't know what the name of it is though, at all. At all. Lynn is on the third Bridgerton book. They are fun. Is it like the? Do you think that it is exactly like the show? Alice says, I can't drink coffee after 7 p.m. because it keeps me awake. And if I drink decaf coffee, then I'm still up going to the bathroom every few minutes. I know. It's kind of like a can't win situation, isn't it? I've been drinking a lot more water too, Sarah, and I do feel better, but it's not giving me any more energy. But I am drinking more water. I've switched to drinking bottled water, and it's helping me drink more water. So I was trying to find a way to drink more water, and that's what happened. Anyway. Oh, the future events, you mean for the next series? I heard that there's a surprise with Daphne in the next season, right? That's what I heard. All right, so next week we're going to be working on grayscale painting with watercolors. That's the last one for January, and then we're moving on to, February. Silver and gold for this one. This color along that was scheduled. Let's talk about this. The color along that was scheduled for February 8th is not. And so there's 2 color alongs in February that will not be happening. We'll be rescheduling them for March. That's why I'm starting the next book in April. The one on the 8th, if you want to mark your calendar or you want to make note of this, the one on February 8th is not happening. It's canceled because that is coloring camp, so I can't be in 2 places at once. The one on February 15th is the Monday after coloring camp. I actually have, let me see if I can see it better on here. The February calendar will be actually posted on, maybe you can see it better here. The February calendar will be released. You think it's too early to release a calendar for February? I don't know. Maybe not. I can release it today if we want to. So the 8th is is coloring camp week, so there's no color along, and then there's no color along on the 15th. It'll be rescheduled for a day in March. Okay, so that's what's happening with color alongs, and then we'll be back for the color along on February 22nd. So February will just have the 1st and the 22nd. Draw alongs are not affected by coloring camp at all. There is a 25% off coupon that lasts all the way till the end of February for PDF coloring books, if anyone's interested. So that's what's happening with color alongs, and then the next book will begin on April 8th. Does anybody have any questions about what's happening what we did today? What will be happening in the future? Today's prompt for the drawing challenge in the coloring group is a toothbrush. Now, it could be a regular toothbrush. It could be electric toothbrush. It could be whatever you would use for a toothbrush if you will live on Survivor, if you would like. Doesn't make a difference as long as it's a toothbrush in your world. So that's what's happening. I'll draw mine. I'll post it, and then tomorrow's is going to be interesting. Actually, I do know what tomorrow's prompt will be, so I think it's kind of funny. Thanks for joining me today. This was a blast. I'll see everyone next week, which is the 25th for the next live color along. And hope you have a great day today and stay safe this week. I will talk to everyone soon. Oh, I have to respond to Caddy's comment. I did think of a roll of toilet paper, actually, but it's not that. I did think of that. That is funny, but it is not. It's interesting. Stay tuned. Okay, see everyone soon.